Hello, YouTube, and welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, we're going to be talking about boundaryless mating and marriages and what I think about them. You can see the title of this presentation is Marriage and Mating Without Boundaries. And so, every so often on these panels on YouTube, we talk about interracial marriages and how people deal with them. And so this is not going to be a real long one. But before we get into the details of what I'm going to tell you or talk about, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments on interracial dating, interfaith dating, and marriages, not really dating, but marriages and mating, or internationality, marriage and mating, let's talk about it. Feel free to comment. And so I'm just going to throw a few things up there that I was thinking about on this topic. And one of the things I always tell people that I believe that interracial, interfaith, internationality, or international type marriage and mating is not only not only evolutionary, but it's inevitable, and it's just something that I think is coming no matter what we say. But anyway, I looked up some numbers and mainly I'm talking about the United States, but not the United States is generally a microcosm of the whole world. So let's go. They say 9.4% of white folks are interracially married, 17.1% of black folks, 25.7% of Hispanic folks, and a lot of that means they could still be connected by language, even though they might not be racially connected. And surprisingly, 27.7% of Asians marry outside of the race. And probably most of those are married to whites, but there's some black folks who they married to as well. So those numbers are interesting, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but since 1958, the approval rating of interracial marriage was only 4% in 1958. And in 2021, it's the approval rating, according to the Gallup polls, is actually 94%. So what can we surmise about those numbers? I mean, I could just only extrapolate in my head that over those years and generations from baby boomers to Gen X's to millennials to Gen Z's, we're talking about almost everybody and almost everybody's family probably has an instance where their son or daughter, uncle, niece, cousin, sister, brother has married outside of the race or ethnic group. So, love is love, right? And it's kind of funny that, and it seems that nothing else really happened except that we're in closer proximity to each other. Integration has happened. And I think people are finding out that we have more in common than we have that is not, you know. So I looked at some other numbers. For example, I looked at interfaith and interfaith dating, and when I looked at that, they say that 39% of interfaith dating it has gone up since 2010. Whatever that means, it says from 2010 they started taking numbers, or this poll was taking numbers. So let's just say it's at 39% here in 2023, and it seems like it's lower than the approval rating, or close to that same rating and or same level of racial marriage and mating. And I can see interfaith being a little bit more troubling with people than interracial, because interfaith, you could be two black folks, one Muslim and one Christian having, or one Jew uh, wrestling with what kind of how we're going to raise our kids, what faith are we going to worship, and how we're going to interface the two. Then also I looked at international marriages, and kind of same kind of thing. Since 2013. people have been marrying, more and more internationally, across nationalistic lines, where, enclaves like whether you're a Pakistani or an Indian, from India might be a lot more difficult than if you're just, an expat in America and you're looking to be an American, even though you're from El Salvador or Africa or whatever. Do you stay with your own people or are you marry an American? A lot more of that is happening. So what am I saying this all for? And I tell people, and I kind of started out by saying this, right? And so I'm like I said, this is not going to be long, kind of rambling, because in my own family, since I take I monitor our family tree, we have, and most of the folks are black, like me, right? But we have Hispanic, we have Hispanic folks in my family. We have white folks in my family. We have African people married into the family. So that's different nationalities. We've got Jamaican folks married into the family. We have white folks married into the family. We have a little bit of everything if you go down deep and across in our family. And it's so what I say, and I always say this to people, whether you like it or not, there's no real pure people left anyway. But even those people who want to circle the wagons and try to keep themselves, all white or all black or all Spanish, then it's going to be very difficult. And those enclaves are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And you could ask yourself why. Oh, by the way, we do have some same-sex marriages as well. But here's the deal. One of the things I say, and I say this all the time, and I really can't get any real pushback. And so I just call it boundaryless marriage and mating. I believe it's evolutionary. It's just evolutionary and it's inevitable for two reasons. For two reasons and two reasons only, without forcing anything. It's proximity and love power. Proximity, and it sounds corny, but love power, meaning men and women, we mate no matter no matter what the restrictions are, no matter what kind of boundaries people put up, whatever. You put men and women in the same proximity, it doesn't matter what their faith is, it doesn't matter what their religious background is, it doesn't matter what nationality they are. If they find an interest in each other, they're going to get together. And that's the way it's been. And it's happening more and more. And so I think people just need to come to grips with the fact that the world is shrinking, meaning that technology has brought us all together and it's bringing us together closer and closer and closer because it's, we're seeing all kinds of mixtures of people getting together. So 100 years from now, 200 years from now, race is not going to be our biggest issue because class has already become more of an issue than race already. So, Pain, if you have any questions, feel free to like and share, subscribe to my channel, and I'll comment on this video. I kept it short on purpose. Do you agree or don't you agree? Just put one in the chat, put two in the chat, put a little comment in the chat. If you got something that I missed, say so. Let's talk about it. Anyway, Pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.